Hello children, happy to see you again. I hope you all are fine and safe. I am Dakshayani, handling biology from Bharadasnar Metric Higher Secondary School, Arakonam. Children, today we are going to discuss 11th standard zoology, chapter 2, kingdom Animalia. And in this kingdom we have discussed about the phylum Porifera, phylum Cnidaria and Ctenophora, and now in this session we are going to discuss about the two phylums. One is the Aschelminthus and the another phylum Annelida. So now let us go into the topic. So first, why it is called as Aschelminthus, right? Because in Greek asch refers to round, asch refers to cavity, helminthus means worm, and previously this phylum was called as Nematoda. What is the phylum name, children? Nematoda. Previously phylum Aschelminthus was named as phylum Nematoda, and their body is round in shape. So we can call this Aschelminthus as roundworms. Commonly we can call these organisms as roundworms. And now we are going to discuss about the habitat. What do you mean by habitat, children? The place where it lives, right? And majority of this phylum Aschelminthus is free living. What do you mean by free living, children? Free living means they can live terrestrial, they can live on the land, or it can be found on the plants and the animals. But some of the species are parasites. Some are parasites, that is they live on the living organisms, that is they depend on the plants and they depend on the animals for their survival. So what is a habitat? Terrestrial, free living, but some of the species are parasites. And next about the symmetry. What is the symmetry, children? Any plane that divides the organism into two equal parts, we call it as symmetry. So based on symmetry, phylum Aschelminthus exhibit bilateral symmetry. Bilateral symmetry. Bilateral means what? If this is an organism, it can be cut into two equal parts like this, right? And next one, level of organization is the organ system level, because they exhibit different organ systems such as digestive system, excretory system, reproductive system, right? So many organ systems are found here. So it exhibits organ system level of organization. And coelom. Coelom, based on the coelom we can say it as a pseudo-coelomate. What do you mean by pseudo? Pseudo means false. Pseudo means false and coelom means cavity. So based on the coelom we can classify this as pseudo-coelomate. Pseudo-coelomate. Okay, children, so these are all the general characters, and now let us see some of the characters of phylum Aschelminthus. And now we are going to study about the germ layers. You see, children, it is a ascaris, and we are seeing the inner structure, the cross section of the roundworm, and it shows three layers: outer ectoderm, middle mesoderm and the inner endoderm, and we can see a false coelom in between them. So based on the germ layers we can classify them as triploblastic. Triploblastic. And this is the body plan, how the organs are organized inside the roundworm. And now we are going to study about the two important systems. One is a digestive system. Digestive system, and the another one is a excretory system. Excretory system. Here we can see the digestive system is complete. What do you mean by complete, children? When we say the digestive system is complete, if the alimentary canal, that is the digestive system, starts from mouth and ends in anus. Okay, it starts from mouth and then pharynx, intestine, and finally it ends in anus, and there are two separate openings for the mouth and the anus. So we call the digestive system of Aschelminthus as complete, and the entire covering is the body is covered by a substance called cuticle. Substance called cuticle. And now we are going to discuss about the excretory system. The excretory system of the Aschelminthus is called rennet glands. Rennet glands. It's an important one more question, children. Write the excretory, which identify which of the following is a excretory organ for Aschelminthus. Rennet glands. And now we are going to study about the reproduction. Here we can see the male and the female. When compared to the male, female is larger in size and curved at its end. So here we can say it exhibits sexual dimorphism. What I mean by dimorphism? Sexual dimorphism. Dimorphism means male and female are separate. Two worms are there. One is a male and another one is a female. So the reproduction is sexual. So what type of reproduction takes place here? Sexual reproduction takes place, and fertilization is internal. That is, the fertilization, the fusion of gametes takes place inside the body. And now we are going to study some of the examples of phylum Aschelminthus, children. So this is Ascaris lumbricoids. And what is the common name? Just underline and write. The common name for Ascaris lumbricoids is roundworm. Is roundworm. And the another one example is Enterobius vermicularis. Enterobius vermicularis, the common name for this is a pinworm. Is a pinworm. And Wuchereria bancrofti, we call it as filarial worm. Filarial worm. Wuchereria bancrofti affects the lymph glands and causes elephantiasis. In Tamil we say it as Yanai noi, right? So this Wuchereria bancrofti affects the lymph glands of a person, and we can see what is the symptoms of this elephantiasis. You can see the swollen legs, right? So because that is due to the inflammation of the lymph glands. So it is said to be a parasite. And the another example is Ancylostoma duodenale. It is present in the duodenum of the animals. So the common name for Ancylostoma duodenale is hookworm. What is it, children? Hookworm. Okay. Among these examples, roundworms are free living and other three are parasites. That is, they depend on the living organisms for their survival. And the next phylum what you are going to discuss is about the Annelida, right? Annelida, it is a organisms to be first we can see segmentation. In other phylums, previously we studied, we cannot see the segmentation, but this phylum Annelida exhibit segmentation. So now let us see the characteristics of the phylum Annelida. So first one, why it is named as Annelida, right? In Latin, annulus means ring and idios means form. So the shape of the, have you all imagined the earthworm, children? What will be the shape? You can see, for example, if this is a earthworm, you can see the body segments one after the other like this. The body is arranged in the form of a ring. So we can call the earthworm, annulus means a ring, idios means form. So they are classified under the phylums Annelida. Next one is a habitat, right? Just imagine where you will find a earthworm. Yes, we can find it on the soil. So we can say it as a terrestrial. But not all the organisms of Annelida is terrestrial. The best example is blood fluke, right? What you say in Tamil, blood fluke? Attaipuchi, right? How it lives? It lives by sucking the blood of the organisms, right? It is seen on the living organisms, right? So some are parasites and some are free living. And germ layers, they possess 3 layers: outer ectoderm, middle mesoderm and inner endoderm. So we can say it as triploblastic. Right, children? And next one we can say symmetry. What is the symmetry? Bilateral symmetry. We can divide the organisms into 2 equal parts. So bilateral symmetry, and based on the coelom they are called as schizocoelomate. What we studied, children? What is schizocoelomate? If the body cavity is formed from the mesoderm, we call the organisms as schizocoelomate. And the level of body organization, organ system, because they exhibit different systems. So organ system level of organization. So these are all the general characters of phylum Annelida. And now we are going to see about the segments. I told you this earthworm, we can see the repeated segments. So it exhibits a phenomenon called metamerism. If the body is segmented and if the segments are found one after the other like this, we can call this as metamerism, and these units we call it as metameres. What we call? Metameres. So earthworm, the phylum Annelida, exhibits metamerism. You can see in the body of the leech also, the body is continuously segmented. And septa. What is a septa? Right? That is, each segments, if this is a segment and if this is another segment, each segments are separated from each other by a cross line called as septa. So this is a septa. This is a septa. So in this organism we can see the repeated segments like this, and I told you the segments are arranged in the form of a ring. And now we are going to study about some of the important interesting facts regarding the earthworm, right? Earthworm is segmented, right? I told you it is segmented, so it exhibits metamerism. The body is repeatedly segmented, and here if the skeleton is made up of, our skeleton is made of bones, but here calcium deposits, but in the earthworm the skeleton is made of water. So we call that as hydrostatic skeleton. What we say? Hydrostatic skeleton. And you can see when you see the external surface with the help of the microscope, you can see small outgrowths from the earthworm's body. We call it as setae. See this one? We call it as setae. It helps in locomotion. Locomotion means what? Moving from one place to another. And the earthworms, have you all noticed the earthworms how it moves? Like this, by contracting and by relaxing. So how the body, to shorten the body, it uses its longitudinal muscles, right? It possesses 2 types of muscles. One is a longitudinal muscle and another one is a circular muscle and the longitudinal muscle. These 2 muscles are present inside the earthworm. So for shortening, it uses its longitudinal muscles. It contracts its longitudinal muscles, and to lengthen, to straighten, it uses its circular muscles. So these are all the some interesting facts of the regarding earthworm. And now we are going to see about the circulatory system. Circulatory system, what? Movement of blood inside the body. And here we can say the circulatory system is closed. Why we say the circulatory system is closed? Because the blood flows inside the blood vessel. You can see there is no opening. The blood does not flow into the open cavity. The blood flow only inside the blood vessels, and it has 2 blood vessels, dorsal blood vessel and the ventral blood vessel. Hence, we can say the circulatory system of earthworm is closed. And now, we are going to see some of the respiratory pigment. What is the respiratory pigment present in our blood, children? Hemoglobin. Yes, very good. Likewise, the earthworm also has some of the respiratory pigments. The first one is the hemoglobin. First one, hemoglobin. And the another pigment is a chlorocurine. Chlorocurine. So, this is an important one mark question, children. And now we are going to discuss about the sexual dimorphism. Some are said to be monoecious. What do you mean by this monoecious? Monoecious means both the male and the female sex organs are present in the same organism. For example, in the earthworm, you can see both the sex organs. This is a testis and it is a ovary. So, both the sex organs, testis and ovary, are present in the same organism. Hence, we can call this as monoecious. There is another term also, children, hermaphrodite. What we can say? Hermaphrodite. But some species of phylum Annelida is dioecious. What is dioecious? Dioecious means the male and female sex organs are located in different individuals. It has the sexes are separate, male and the female, and the reproduction takes place through the, what reproduction takes place here? Sexual reproduction. And now we are going to discuss about the examples, and it's one more question, children. The larva of the earthworm, phylum Annelida, we call it as trochophore. Just underline in your book, trochophore, right? Next one, we are going to discuss the examples. Lampito maruti. Lampito maruti, what is the common name? Manpulu, we say in Tamil, right? Earthworm. Earthworm, it is a common name of Lampito maruti. Nereis, right? Nereis. Example, we can say, what is the common name? Sandworm. Hirudinaria granulosa. What is it? It's a leech. Attaipuchi we say. So, leech. These are all the examples of phylum Annelida. And now we shall discuss about some of the important 1 marks. The metameric segmentation is the main feature of which phylum? Phylum Annelida. Yes, very good. In Pheretima posthuma. What is this Pheretima posthuma? What is Pheretima posthuma, children? It is a same species when compared to same as earthworm. So, what is the locomotory organs? It has 3 I said. One is a circular muscles, longitudinal muscles and setae. So, this is the organs for locomotion. And Wuchereria. Wuchereria, what I said? What's the common name of Wuchereria? Filarial worm. Filarial worm which causes filariasis. So, where it is found? Which organ it affects? Yes, very good Arvind. Lymph nodes. Very good, lymph nodes. Leech secretes which of the following anticoagulant, right? Leech sucks our blood, right? But the blood is not clotted. It immediately when our blood comes out of our body, it becomes a clot. But this leech secretes some substance which prevents the blood from clotting. What is that pigment called? Yes, very good. Hirudin. Hirudin. And these are all some of the important questions in this session, children. Into which phylum is the larval trochophore found? Larva trochophore? Yes, very good. Phylum Annelida. And we discussed about the 2 phylums. So, explain the characteristic features of phylum Aschelminthes. So, you have to write the characteristic features of roundworm with the diagram of any one of the examples. Next one, characteristic features of phylum Annelida. Right, you have to write about the earthworm. So, children, with this session comes to an end. We have discussed about the phylum Aschelminthes and phylum Annelida. Right, go through all the examples in your notebook, write the examples and their common name and practice a diagram of any one examples of all the phylums. Thank you children. Have a nice day.